Hello, family, and welcome back to another on-the-road edition of Maddie's Rap. I'm your host, the multiple award-winning author Matt D. Talford, author of a couple of amazing books that I'll leave links in the description box to because I want this to be a fast video. Now, those of you that have been following me for a while, you know that when I say short video or quick video, it tends to not be quick or short. So I said fast today. Hopefully that'll be different. Listen. In today's video, I'm going to do a follow-up, or the purpose of today's video is to follow up the Twin Flames video that I published on Sunday, December the 4th, I think it was. Yeah, Sunday, December the 4th. So for those of you that have watched that video, thank you. Thank you for your comments, and thank you for the feedback that you guys have given me, either in the comments box or via direct message. So thank you guys. Now, today is a follow-up to that. So again, if you haven't seen that one, you can click the link in the description box and watch it. By no means is that a prerequisite to this video. It's not. So this is kind of a supplement, if you will. So what are we talking about today, Matt? To do a quick recap of the first video, or not the whole video, but just a recap of one section. In that video, I talked about how twin flames are created, twin flames / divine counterparts. You guys know, if you saw the video, I prefer the term divine counterparts. I think it's more accurate. Anyway, there are two schools of thought. I talked about that in that video. There are two schools of thought. In one circle, it is said or taught or understood by those in that school of thought that twin flames / divine counterparts are the same soul in two different bodies. So one soul, two bodies is that school of thought. And the second school of thought, it is two independent souls that are energetically connected and function and created to function as a single soul, as a single unit. Okay, and I told you guys I subscribe to the second school of thought. It just seems like it makes more sense to me. So now, as a follow-up to that, I want to show you how the tarot deck, a deck of tarot cards, to me more closely support or better support the second school of thought. All right, and you know, if you're not spiritual, you're not into tarot, then this ain't your video. Turn it off. Okay. In the tarot deck, there are 78 cards, okay? 78 cards in a standard tarot deck. Now, of those 78 cards, there are 22 major arcana, okay? So there are cards numbered 0 through 21, and they are considered major arcana. Without going into any, heavy definition of it, most people that are tarot readers or that are in the spiritual community will tell you that those major arcana are pretty much spiritual cards. They tend to have a spiritual message attached to them. So, if you take away 22 from 78, you're left with what? 56. Now, that in and of itself, I think, is part of a beautiful mystery, if you will, of the tarot deck when it comes to these things. Think about it. Okay, if you got 22 major arcana, people who are into numerology know that 22 is what's called a master number. It's a builder. It is the master number. You don't reduce master numbers. Typically in numerology, what you do is you combine groups of numbers and try to break them down to a single number. And then that single number typically has a powerful, energetic, or spiritual meaning assigned to it, 0 through 9. Now, but master numbers, if you get an 11, a 22, a 33, a 44, those are considered master numbers, and you don't reduce those. Now, go back to the tarot deck. You got 78 cards. 22 of them are major arcana. That leaves 56, okay? If you were to do a numerological reduction of the number 56, you add the 5 and the 6, and you're left with 11. You don't reduce that 11 anymore. So that to me is no accident. It's no coincidence that the major arcana, there are 22 major arcana and then 56 remaining cards that if you do a numerological breakdown of them, it breaks down to another master number, 11. Now, let's talk about how that applies to the twin flame divine counterpart. In that deck of 78 cards, within that group of 22 major arcana, there are two pairs of cards that I believe embody the essence of the twin flame / divine counterpart spiritual connection, okay? Two pairs. Pair number one is going to be the physical embodiment the physical representation of these twin flame divine counterparts, okay? And then pair number 2 is going to be the spiritual essence of these twin flame / divine counterparts. Pair number 1, physical. The Emperor and the Empress. They're the only 2 cards of that type in the entire 78 card tarot deck. The Emperor and the Empress. They're the highest of any physical cards, if you will. So there are other court cards. You got kings and queens, but you've got 4 kings, you've got 4 queens. You got pages. You got 4 different pages. You've got knights. There are 4 different knights. Those typically go with, their air energy, water energy, fire energy, or earth energy. Those are the elements that make up the astrological makeup of, and they're pretty much the elemental makeup of the earth: air, water, fire, and earth. So these things are spiritual, but they're tied to the earth. They're tied to creation. And I feel like the tarot deck is just a tangible representation of the energies of existence. All right. Now let's get back to these powerful pairs. You got the Emperor card and the Empress card. Those are the 2 highest ranking human, if you will, cards in the tarot deck. Okay. Stay with me. Emperor, divine masculine energy. Empress, divine feminine energy. Okay? Go back and look at that video if you don't know what those archetypes are: divine masculine and divine feminine. Now, those are the physical embodiment of the divine counterparts. The Emperor, divine masculine energy. The Empress, divine feminine energy. On the spiritual side, you have 2 more major arcana, okay, that to me capture the essence, the spiritual essence of twin flame / divine counterpart, okay? Those are the Empress. I'm sorry, back up, Matt. Not the Empress, I just did that. The 2 spiritual cards, or the spiritual pair, are the High Priestess and the Hierophant. High Priestess, divine feminine energy. Hierophant, divine masculine energy. Okay, so what you got there in that tarot deck is the physical embodiment and the spiritual embodiment. Now notice, those of you who are clever and quick, you'll notice how I called out those cards. When I talked about the earthbound or physical essence of the cards, I talked about I called the Emperor card first, followed by the Empress. So in the physical, we know that masculine energy is physical and feminine energy is spiritual. But because we're talking about the physical embodiment, I called out the Emperor card first. Masculine energy reigns supreme in the physical environment. Feminine energy reigns supreme in the spiritual environment. And that is why when I went to the spiritual pair, I called the High Priestess first, followed by the Hierophant. Both of them are spiritual individuals. The High Priestess embodies the divine feminine energy. The Hierophant embodies the divine masculine. And then if you were to take those 2 pairs, and if you wanted to apply masculine versus feminine energy to the pairs, well then obviously the Emperor and Empress pair would be masculine because they're physical. And then the High Priestess and Hierophant cards would be feminine, okay, because they're spiritual. So I just wanted to do that short video, guys, ladies, fellas, to as a supplement to the part 1 of the Twin Flames Divine Counterpart video that I did. And I just wanted to share that. I had that in my notes for the part 1 video, but I felt like that kind of just stood alone and needed its own video. So again, I feel like the tarot deck doubles down on the idea that twin flames / divine counterparts are perhaps not 2 bodies, 1 soul, but more likely 2 independent souls that are created to function as a unit. The Emperor can rule by himself. The Empress can rule by herself, but they're much more powerful together. Okay, and they're the only 2 in the deck. There's a King and Queen of Wands. There's a King and Queen of Swords. There's a King and Queen of Cups, and there's a King and Queen of Pentacles. So I just named all of the elements for you. Okay, Wands, air energy. Swords, fire energy. Water, or Cups is water energy, and then the Pentacles is earth energy. I named all of them for you. You know, you got you got 4 different elements in the zodiac as well. So we talked about that. But anyway, yeah, that I feel like those are pretty much the better embodiment of the twin flame / divine counterparts. I feel like they're two. And that's what I was saying. The emperor can rule by himself. The empress can rule by herself. Okay, you can get spiritual advice from a high priestess. You can get spiritual advice from a hierophant. Okay, but when you combine those energies together, it's like a supernova. An emperor and an empress together, it's nothing like it. Okay, the high priestess working together with the hierophant, supreme spiritual power, super spiritual power, not supreme. There's one supreme spiritual power, one. Okay, but even that one that said, "Let us create man in our own image and our own likeness," embodies divine feminine and divine masculine energy. That's it, y'all. I'm gonna wrap it up here. Told you I wanted this to be a short video. I didn't mean for it to be 10 minutes, but I hope somebody gets something out of that. So in summary, if you want to know why I feel like the second school of thought with regards to what divine counterparts, how divine counterparts are created, the process, what goes into the source, again, I feel like the tarot deck doubles down on the idea of 2 complete and independently operating souls that were created to function as a single soul unit. They share an energetic bond that is unlike any other one anywhere, and that is reflected in the tarot deck. There's only one empress and one emperor. There's only one high priestess and one hierophant. Okay, there's 4 kings, 4 queens, 4 pages, 4 knights, and then 4 aces, 4 2s, 3s, 4, all the way through 10. There's 4 of every other card. Okay, but when it gets to the high priestess and the hierophant and the emperor and the empress, there's only one of each of those. So anyway, family, I hope that helps somebody. I love you guys. Love you guys so much. Thank you for all the love and support. If you're new to the channel and you like my content, I invite you to explore some of my other content. Hit the subscribe button so you'll be notified when I upload new videos. And last but not least, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with somebody that you think may be interested or could benefit from it. Peace, family. Love you guys. Tell somebody you love them and mean it. How do you mean it? You have to show it. Love is a verb. It is also a noun, but if we focus on the verb, the noun takes care of itself. So be the love that you want to see, and there will be love in the earth. Peace, y'all.